We probably should check the box on the Falcons if there are any Falcons fans who are actually engaging in the consumption of media this morning after watching that debacle last night. Arthur Smith, whose team was 4-4. I don't know how they won 4 games after watching them the last 2 when they've been outscored 68-3. But here's Arthur Smith talking about what they need to do to turn things around because they're still alive for a playoff berth in the NFC. Here he is.
It feels ugly right now, and in this moment, you feel obviously pretty poor when you go there, you get to 4-4, you get a big win, and then obviously you guys all watched the last 2 games. So we've done it before, Josh, and it's like I told you before, it's continual improvement. You hope not to ride the roller coaster. We got to fix things, and we're going to get them fixed, and we'll get them fixed in a hurry.
Well, that's right. They don't have much of a choice, and at least they get a mini bye of their own to try to put some pieces together. And I didn't expect them to be a contender. Everybody's a contender in the NFC right now except the Detroit Lions. But these last 2 games for the Falcons, they go a long way toward, I think, making members of that team realize that they got a long way to go. It hurt to not have Cordell Patterson. It hurts to not have Calvin Ridley. And it made it easier last night for Bill Belichick to do, Peter, what he always does. Takes away what the other team does best. We're going to remove Kyle Pitts and force you to go elsewhere. And there's no elsewhere that this offense can go without Ridley or Patterson available to them.
This is what I was thinking watching this game last night. And I'll tell you what, Mike, I'm not saying necessarily that these last 2 games have shown that a star is born, okay? But this Kyle Duggar from Lenoir-Rhyne University in Hickory, North Carolina, that football powerhouse, who was the Patriots' 2nd-round pick a year ago, this bigger safety, you remember David Fulcher. This guy is the Patriots' David Fulcher. He's not quite as heavy as Fulcher was, but he's a bigger safety. And he has emerged as really an excellent football player and a key to that secondary. And I bring him up because it appeared as though the Patriots were saying to Kyle Duggar of Lenoir-Rhyne University, we want you to take out Kyle Pitts on the other side of the ball. The highest tight end ever picked. And he really, I almost object to calling him a tight end. I mean, he's almost like a big slot receiver. He's a huge target. But anyway, Belichick can say that. And he can say that in part, we're going to devote energy to try to take Kyle Pitts away from everything you do. And the reason he can do it is that 2 of the 3 most important offensive weapons on the Atlanta Falcons are gone. One last night was gone, they hope, for only 1 week or so, and that's Cordero Patterson. And he has become the most important weapon, all-purpose weapon on their team, and one of the most important all-purpose weapons in the league. And then Calvin Ridley. To take away, just think you're Matt Ryan. A year ago at this time, you had Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones when he was healthy enough to play, and a couple of really good lesser receivers, like Gage, for instance, who I think is a good piece. But when you're missing Ridley and you're missing Patterson, you're just not going to look very good on offense against an oppressive defense like New England. That's the one thing I found myself thinking. But the other thing is, I think one of the things that Arthur Smith has to get done with this team, somehow, some way, you've got 5 offensive linemen on this team, all of whom were picked in the top 3 rounds. 5 guys. And they were getting speed bumped last night by the Patriots. And so that's one thing that they've got to somehow fix and get better. And I don't know how you do that, but that is going to be really, really important if Arthur Smith wants to make this team a contender.
And for any team that struggles during the season and you know that changes need to be made, it is not easy. There's only so many external options available. Internally, what can you do? Your backups are backups for a reason. It's kind of like changing the tire on a moving car, and more often than not, it doesn't work. But there will be one of those teams that changes the formula, comes up with something, finds a way to start winning football games, and confidence begets more confidence, and before you know it, not that it's going to be the Falcons this year. They're not going to be the team that fell on hard times like the Patriots a year ago and then wakes it up. But just the fact, and Peter, I love that you pointed that out, the fact that you can slump in November and still win the Super Bowl, that keeps the dream alive for so many teams. And this year, the plausible hope extends to far more franchises at this stage of the calendar than I think it ever has. You can wipe out the Lions. You can wipe out the Jaguars. You can wipe out the Texans at this point. You can't really wipe out completely anyone else right now. That's Pete Rozell's dream come to fruition. And they want to continue that as long as they can into the season and have as many teams alive as possible when Week 18 rolls around.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.